Car 54, where are you? This television series appeared in the year 1961. It lasted 2 seasons to 1962. And we're going to watch a portion of an episode from Car 54, where are you?
Yes, they're on vacation. Be back in a couple of days.
But Mr. Eisenberg, they were only doing their duty.
Coming, Captain!
Anderson! Rodriguez! Hellman!
Captain, what happened?
The law of gravity.
The law of gravity?
What you keep paying.
There's a lot of hoaxing in this. There is no such thing as gravity. It's density. But anyhow, we'll get to the major portion of what I want to talk about.
Up has to come down. When are you going to start throwing out some of these old records? You keep piling one thing on top of another. What are you trying to do? Get to the moon before the Russians? No.
Okay, now the year is 1961, and there's a so-called space race between the United States and the Soviet Union, or Russia, to get to the moon. So there's another hoax, reinforced subtly by television.
For how many years do I have to yell before this place gets cleaned up?
Captain, you never know when you have to look something up.
You mean something like this? The following men will report for duty tomorrow, 2 p.m., when President Woodrow Wilson dedicates the Bronx suit. I suppose you have to refer to this quite often.
Well, that is a little old.
Oh, well, here's a red-hot bulletin. It's a letter from the Chief of Police of Chicago. To the officers and men of the 53rd Precinct, I wish to thank you for your sympathetic letter in regard to the recent fire we had here. And these came from the top of the stack. I'm afraid to look. This bunch here are probably part of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Quiet! Inspector Corey is due to inspect this place any day now. Look at it. It's a mess. Now let's start right here. Kissel, get this cleared away.
Captain, I'm a week behind on my daily reports.
All right. Rodriguez.
If I don't get right back to Mrs. Foley, you know her. There'll be a letter to the commissioner.
I know Anderson.
Oops, there goes the switchboard.
I didn't hear anything. Feldman.
I'm on the desk.
You're on the desk. Well, that leaves you, Schnauser.
Captain, I've...
Okay, now I hope you recognize Officer Schnauser. That's actor Al Lewis. And actor Al Lewis will later play Grandpa in the television series called The Munsters.
off to help you. But look,
Did him hurt his little finger.
it's only a scratch, but it could be blood poison like that, the way it's dirty around here.
They're only files.
Only files. What if I should pick up and touch an old report from 1927? That was the year of the flu epidemic. I catch everything.
It's always something with you. If it isn't a finger, it's a sprained toe.
Well, let's listen to that again. What did he say about picking up a piece of paper, a file? What could possibly happen to him if he picked up that piece of paper? Now, this is very applicable because I recall going into a grocery store where you have to purchase your bags, and in this grocery store they usually would set out boxes and people could just help themselves and pick up a box, but they decided to not put out boxes because of the current happenings, because they were fearful of something happening when people picked up a box. I also heard about a bank that would no longer allow for the pens to be used by the customers because they were fearful that something might happen by using the pens. Now let's listen to what he says once again in his comment to the captain of the precinct, the 53rd precinct, which is imaginary, by the way, in the Bronx of New York City.
Well, it could be blood poison like that, the way it's dirty around here.
They're only files.
Only files? What if I should pick up and touch an old report from 1927? That was the year of the flu epidemic. I'd catch everything.
It's always something with you. If it isn't a finger, it's a sprained toe. If it isn't a sprained toe, it's a hangnail. If it isn't a hangnail, it's chapped lips.
Hey, now I tried to see about the year 1927 in New York City. That's not really one of the years that they identify with the previous hoaxes. So I'm not sure where they got the year 1927, but it doesn't matter because they are subtly trying to communicate that by touching something such as a piece of paper, something terrible could happen to the human body. And this is the year 1961. So let me close it out here. We'll watch another little section on this, and then I'll conclude.
Isn't it a shame? A man who once had the strength of a lion.
Schnauser, would it hurt if you took it?
Captain, in the middle of chalking in the duty roster? Captain, I've only got 2 hands. What am I saying? 9 fingers. Captain, I need something.
What do I have to do to get this place cleaned up? Nothing but bunch of goof-offs. How about you? You're not Inspector Corey.
Okay, so the transmission of something, like touching a piece of paper. And of course, Officer Schnauser is portrayed as a hypochondriac. Hypochondria has spread rapidly in our land. And although this is the year 1961, that little drama that he played out has been played out right before our eyes in our modern world. Do not abide by falsehoods. Do not believe lies. Only trust truth. And truth comes to us in God's holy word, the Bible. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. The Holy Spirit is the Spirit of truth. Separate yourself from the lies of the world. Separate yourself from the deceptions of the world. And just live in the truth of God's holy word. And you will find peace. And you will be protected from the father of lies and the spirit of lying and the spirit of Antichrist. Stay under the authority of Jesus Christ and let that position hold you in the midst of a lying world. I'd like to thank you for watching this video.